you are a cerebrotomic like myself, socializing feels like you're running a marathon with weights strapped to your chest. It is so exhausting. People are gay and they're talking and performing and for each other, and you're not part of that. You've seen through all of them. You can walk into a room and say, he's performing, she's trying to get attention, and people are trying to make clever remarks and jokes, and they ask you what you do, and you tell them, and they look around for somebody better, Everybody's status climbing. You can feel this. That's the feeling I got with socializing. I could not stand it. I wanted them to leave. Please leave me alone. I think it's where you get with evolution. I think throughout your life you keep evolving, and this is definitely a later step when you just want to be alone. The inside is like a phantasmagoria, a cornucopia of thoughts, and not having to perform, and not having to answer questions or, explain yourself. It's such a relief to close that door. It's not that you hate people at all. It's just that the inner realm just lights up. It's so much better. I've had it. I don't like socializing. I can't stand small talk. I have a locked gate, and that's the biggest luxury of my life. I could not stand it for years, but I thought, well, I got to learn how to do this. I got to learn how to adapt. People kept telling me, come on, you should be more social. People want to learn about you and talk to you. No, I don't care. If people want to learn about me, they can read my books or hear my videos. I don't need to sit there and express myself with people. It's because they're trying to discern you. They're trying to figure you out. You have to justify yourself. This is not what I want. I want solitude, and that is the greatest luxury of life. You're with a group of people, and your husband says, my wife keeps perfect house. The other woman might resent her. Oh, Miss Priss. Oh, she keeps perfect house. Things have changed. People don't admire what they used to. If you keep order, that's just too much for them because they don't keep order. It's a sad thing when women don't keep house anymore. Somebody has to. Usually the man doesn't. It's great when he does, when he's an orderly person, that's great. But usually that's the woman's. And when she doesn't, it's one miserable home. Solitude isn't superiority. It's survival. It's survival for a higher mind, a thinker, a worker, a creator. Solitude is how they do it. They can't do it by shaking hands and connecting constantly, and it's just noise to a creative person. It's survival. This requires discipline, the life I am propounding. But the Bible says discipline doesn't seem pleasant at first, but in the future it produces pleasantness and peace. Start to do things that require discipline, and you will get so much out of it. Disregard the work it takes at first. Look to the future. It requires discipline to keep house, to keep order, to go to the gym and get fit, to diet, to do the right food. All these things are discipline, but the results are out of this world. Just an in-law, and she wouldn't even talk to me for 18 years. But when I got the money bag and got a home and she needed me, all of a sudden she love-bombed me completely. She completely changed. That's what I mean about the fake family thing. It's all conditional, all transactional. People come and go. It would be great if we could have great families, and a lot of people do. And I salute to you. That's wonderful. But, don't make saints out of them if they're not. See through people, whether they're friends or family, because it will hold you back. It will definitely hold you back. A brother or a sister can hold you back. There's something called sister abuse. It's all over the internet suddenly. There was always a sort of a myth about sisterhood. Oh, she loves you because she's your sister. No. Who else are they going to abuse but a sister close? Sister abuse is a big thing. Just watch them around will signing time. If the mother is split, she'll make one of the girls, the golden child. And the other one will be a scapegoat. The mother's split, and she splits in her treatment of the two girls. And then there's always infighting there. The sick system of sisters can be really cruel. It would be nice if it were nice. But let's face facts. What causes mental illness? Other people. Sick systems. What brings you out of it? Releasing with love, seeing what's really happening, and coming to God. I was married to an alcoholic, and when we were involved with a big family, they couldn't see anything wrong with his drinking because he was Jolly Jimmy. He was a master manipulator socially. He knew just what to say to people and flatter them, but it was his wife behind closed doors that he would beat up. And I wanted him to stop drinking because he was very abusive when he drank. And it hurt me, and he would insult me. Nobody else could see that. But because an alcoholic hates the person who wants to take away his mistress, which is the bottle, he isolated me all over. I was the enemy because I wanted him to stop drinking. And nobody could see why I wanted him to stop because they couldn't see that part of him. Alcoholics are brilliant manipulators. They don't show that to other people. You are the punching bag if you're the wife of the alcoholic. My Ph.D. thesis was on that, the wife of the alcoholic syndrome. And you're the punching bag, and nobody else can see why you want him to stop drinking. And I would say, it isn't that he's drinking, it's how he acts when he's drinking. They don't see that. They just see you as a savage. They see you as the problem if you want him to stop drinking. Go to Al-Anon if that's your problem. It helped me a little bit, but basically it was getting away from it because it's probably one of the most difficult things to adapt to an alcoholic. A lot of women do. They learn to live with it. They attain high consciousness out here through Al-Anon, and no matter what he does, they brag that they're high anyway because they've found God. I was too sensitive. I could not stay in a system who's insulting me all the time and doing these numbers because to me, alcohol is a conduit to the devil. The devil comes right in up to me through him who's drinking. I don't even have any friends who drink now. I don't drink. I don't know anybody who drinks because it was so vicious and so vile, the stuff that happens with alcohol. God owns time. It's a matter of seasons. Perfect purpose in perfect time. Some treasures of the soul take years to mature. It doesn't matter if you're old or anything. God owns time. He can bring fullness to your latter years so that it feels like far more years. When you were younger, the decades went by in a blur, but he brings fullness to it. God owns time. Let the thing mature. You put away your dreams, take them out of the drawer, dust them off. It can still happen. And with God, it's a matter of seasons. You have fall, you have winter, you have spring. It's the same thing. You have different seasons. You have seasons of acceleration of what you're doing. You have seasons of waiting. It seems like forever. You have seasons of evolving and and betterment of your body and soul. Okay, you have seasons of putting things together, eliminating things, clearing drawers, clearing out your network and connections, seasons of relocating. It took me 10 years to relocate. Seasons. Think of everything as seasons. And when the time comes, it'll happen suddenly. One day is like 1,000 years to the Lord. 1,000 years are like one day. He can accomplish suddenly what took you 10, 20 years and you haven't gotten anywhere. He can do it all by introducing you to somebody, by bringing something in your life suddenly out of the blue. Let God do it. And all that you need to be done, suddenly it'll all come together perfectly. It'll fall together in a fabric. I wrote in my journal, delay is God's design. Some things cannot be rushed. Diamonds are made very slowly, and delay was part of your protection. Yeah, had I got what I wanted and prayed for, I would have been doomed. Delay was the best thing that ever happened. Delay is the fastest point to the route. Yeah, sometimes delay, other things come into the equation that bring you to it much quicker. So delay isn't delay. Delay is the fastest route. Forget your planning because God's is far superior. And it could be a circuitous route that you would never predict would work out. But it will. So don't have a problem with delays. They're the fastest route. Wait for a miracle. When everything you need to happen will happen suddenly. Again, from my journal. God restores lost time, making all things new. Even when old, the future bursts with potential. Yeah, people think, oh, I have nothing to look forward to. I'm 60, 70, whatever. No. With fullness of time, the future bursts with potential when your whole life could have been dull and boring and waiting and overcoming petty things. Suddenly, it opens up in old age. Don't forget Sarah. I mean, people become very pessimistic and cynical in old age. Well, it's over. I've got nothing to look forward to. I might as well just wait for the end. No, it doesn't work like that. God uses older people. What do the youth know? Nothing. They're still overcoming things. God will use you when you're old. So wait for your miracle then. Life of fullness where it's the fat moment. The moment becomes fat. It's not a life of striving anymore, but surrender. Surrendering to God, and then He makes it happen through prayer. God, I am weak. Please be strong for me. If I'm going to be filled with braggadocio and try to be false strength, He won't. Be weak. And He is strong for you. Surrender. Don't strive. When the whole world thinks different from you as an individual, you think, well, I gotta be wrong. They're all together. There's thousands of people who think that way. How could I be right? I must be wrong. But Einstein, one of the smartest people in the world, said, a thought that sometimes makes me hazy. Am I or are the others crazy? That's the way he felt. Great geniuses are all alone in their thoughts, and it's the opposite to how the herd thinks. They all go through the same obstacle, feeling drastically alone. Maybe lonely, but I think they're too busy in the head to be. I'm never lonely or bored. They were never lonely or bored. They have their head. And so they all felt that sequestering of just one person against millions. That's the way the great mind thinks. So if you feel that way, hooray. That's a sign. A liberal, Mickey. He was always smiling, always nice to everybody. You know, he played the game brilliantly. Not an enemy in the world, part of the herd. He took me into his room and it looked like a bomb hit it. Immediate disrespect. I'm sorry. He was a faker. That's a reflection of your mind. If you're living in chaos, but you're all smiling to the world, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Performance, but not depth. Authenticity and depth. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. You are thriving in your spirit. The more as you get older. But you see, in an ageist culture, they look at you as obsolete. It's obsolescence. You know, as time passes, you're wearing out in parts. No, as time passes, it's increased fullness. You're becoming more whole. You're thriving. If only people could see that. In traditional aging, the old person was given the first seat in the Senate. Everybody went to them for advice. It was an entirely different gestalt. Now it's, oh, you know, what does he know? He's an old guy. Forget the world and see the future as beautiful when you will be thriving, not just surviving. And that will allow your body to stay fit to the last minute. There are great thinkers like Socrates who were condemned in life, but all through history celebrated as heroes. Those who are most condemned are later celebrated as heroes. That's the herd. If anything could show it, it's that. And the very people that they acclaim as wonderful become the worst. Everything is in reverse. And one man is a majority. Not the majority. Forget that. One man is a discoverer. You have the lazy herd going on thinking what it thinks. And then you have an amazing discovery. An amazing new dent. And everybody says, oh, I see now. They put him down for years. And then after the discovery is made, oh, I see that. Oh, yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. That's always how it is. Every great discoverer has to overcome the herd. The herd always condemns anyone who's ahead of their time. Yeah, they can't stand it. Because it makes them think they're wrong. And their ego is so reactive, they can't take that. They've got to have certitude that they're right. And with you there, so brilliant, with new ideas that are better than theirs, even if they can see the efficacy, it doesn't matter because the ego comes into it. So I'm afraid you're all going to have to overcome that obstacle, that obstruction of the herd. In every field, it's the same way. The newer it is, the more they hate it. The herd always attacks those who challenge their absurdities. And it is absurd. But because everybody agrees, it's their mundane reality. We call it mundanity. Mundanity rules. Mundanity is not reality. Mundanity is just social hypnotism. But they see it as reality. It's absurdity. And so great people stood up and spoke against it. They were burnt at the stake. They lost their grant. They were fired. They were disowned. They were divorced. It's true. Read history. You'll see it. In some cases, a great discoverer will become symbols to those who attacked them in the first place. That's how flimsy their position is. They'll turn on a dime. When everybody else agrees with it, they'll say, oh yeah, oh great, you're a great guy, yeah. whereas before they were your worst enemy. Those who go along with the herd are the weakest, and they will switch. All through history, you have what is called revitalization movements, where suddenly the herd switches to a new beat. It recalibrates to a new beat. They march in step, and then suddenly they go the other way. It's always led by a charismatic leader that gives them the oomph to switch to a new beat, a revitalization movement. And that's what is going to happen in this country. Another thing you can do regarding lacto-fruitarianism is fat fasting. Small bits of fat every couple hours, and you're fasting like that because they elevate glucagon, the opposing hormone to insulin. It releases all water from the system, puts you in fat burning mode, living on fat, living on your own fat, eliminating inflammation. I can attest to that. My left shoulder hurt, it's gone. Improves sleep. Glucagon is biologic utopia. It's really great. So you're keeping carbs real low, under 30 for sure. Maybe it's best under 20. And small bits of fat every couple hours. Fat fasting. I use cheese and nut butter for that. And it sure makes life simple. I have my low carb smoothie in the morning and then just small bits of fat. And I'm never hungry. That's the thing that is very interesting. It reduces hunger completely. So fat fasting, I recommend. It's a break from the high carb diet filled with fruit and starch, and the low carb fruitarian diet is just pure fat fasting. And you'll find that an interesting vacation. Fat fasting, there's no hunger or thoughts of eating ever. Get ready for an incredible vacation. You'll be flying high mentally. Because if you're released from food thoughts, you're released from a huge chunk of what people are always thinking about. Food. Food and sex are the two things. After a certain age, it's just food. And with release from that is a wonderful thing. So fat fasting may be an answer for a lot of people.